What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Godspeed ZRZ. Now, if you've been paying attention to my last videos, you guys should already know what's coming next, and that's actually going to be the taillights. Now, of course, I put off ordering these lights as long as I possibly could, so I had to find something close. I actually ended up going to Infinite Off-Road here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They had them in stock, and I was able to do an in-store pickup. They have a nice little storefront there and some great customer service. Needless to say, we got the Oracle flush mount lights, and we're going to go ahead and install those today. And of course, we're going to be installing the Taser Mini that you probably already saw, but that's going to be in another video. Now, there's already a couple great install videos for these lights themselves, but I really wanted to go a little bit more in depth and show you guys what I actually think about these and how easy they actually are to install. So let's go ahead and open them up and see what we've got. So of course, straight out of the box, just opening these up, of course we do have some customer service information as well as some install information. And then they've got some warranty information here. I guess you can submit it to get your, that way you can get your actual lights registered for the warranty. They've also got some 3M tape right here, and then they have an Oracle sticker, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice boxing overall, and it's padded up pretty nice, that way nothing's gonna get scratched or beat up. And then for the actual lights themselves, they come with the entire assembly right here. So they are covered by plastic, and then on the back side, it's got the mounting points, and of course we will have to use our factory mounting bracket that's already on our taillights right now. But with this, they have it set up that way you can run it with blind spot monitors or without blind spot monitors, which is pretty nice. Then they've also got the anti-flicker built in if you are switching from the traditional lights over to the LEDs. So you've got the full package, everything included for what you'll need, whether you have the factory LEDs or the standard lights. And then they've also got looks like a side marker indicator with peel and stick on the back, and then also some supplied screws. All you really need is a trim removal tool, and for that I always just use my handy dandy flathead. We've also got a Phillips screwdriver right there. We'll need that to take off some of the mounting brackets, and then we'll also need a 10mm socket. And then we've got some tape there as well, because I do know with the anti-flicker we won't be needing it for ours, so if we have to undo any wires, I'll go ahead and tape those up just to make sure no moisture is going to get into those wires. So first things first, you'll want your trim removal tool as well as your 10mm socket. You'll go in right here, and then on the corner of both pieces, right and left, you will have a little piece of trim to remove, and then you'll also have a plastic 10mm bolt, and whenever you loosen it up, it'll loosen the entire assembly, that way you can pull it out. All you need to do is pop this plastic trim piece off right here. You'll set it aside, and then you'll have a plastic 10mm bolt right down here, and all you'll have to do is loosen it up, and it will make it easier to release your rear washer fluid hose. That way you'll have better access in here, and then it becomes hand tightened, and you can just loosen it up with your fingers the rest of the way. And this is what that bolt looks like. Of course, you do have that spring for a little better retention, and it is plastic, so whenever you're reinstalling it, you'll want to be sure not to torque it down too much, because you could either break the light assembly or the actual bolt itself. And we'll set that aside for now. Then after you got it out, you can just pull the actual entire assembly out. You'll see that you have a couple different connections here. And for this one, you'll want to pull out the red safety lever. Then after you pull out the red safety lever, you'll just squeeze this piece and pull the other out. And then for this piece, you'll be able to see you've got your Phillips screws right here that you will have to take off, and that'll give you access to the first piece. And we will have to reuse this bracket later. Then you want to go ahead and remove these 3 screws. And remove this bracket. Like I say, you will have to use it again later. And then to gain access to your blind spot monitors, you do have 2 additional screws right here, and that will allow you to take this piece off. And you'll lift that cover shield off, and then you'll have access to your actual blind spot monitor. And you'll take this little shield off, pull the red lever down, and then you'll depress that black tab. And then you can pull it straight off. And you'll set this aside as well. Now to install your blind spot monitor into the Oracle flush mount tail light, you'll want to go ahead and remove all these screws connecting to these supporting brackets. And I believe there's 9 of them, but we'll take those out right now. Then once you've got that bracket off, you can just set it aside. Then you'll have access to your blind spot monitor bracket. You want to grab your blind spot monitor, install it up and down just like that. Then you'll actually plug it in. And push that red lever down and sit it back inside in its place. And then you can reinstall the bracket you just took off. Then once you have the blind spot monitor snugged into place, you can reinstall the bracket that you just took off. And then to reinstall the factory bracket, you want to use the provided hardware. That way everything will match up just right. And then for this extra wire for your anti-flicker, if you already do have the factory LEDs, I'm actually going to tape this up. That way it's not in the way, and actually cover these 2 prongs with tape. That way, if any moisture does get in it, it's not going to affect any of this. Now to reinstall it, you want to go ahead and grab your factory connector right here. And make sure you hear it snap. And then push that red tab in. At first, resecuring this bolt, you want to be sure to hold it exactly where you want that light, and then finger tighten it first, and then you'll resecure it with your 10mm socket. And then when you feel it's secure, be sure not to over tighten it. And we'll go ahead and take the plastic off and replug your rear windshield washer fluid, and then you'll just reinstall your trim cover. So this gives you guys a fair look at the comparison of the Oracle versus the factory taillight from the rear. And then of course the side profile is really where you tell most of the difference. Much cleaner look. Completely flush, which is awesome. I wish they would have came out with these sooner for the JLs. This big bulky light here just looks crazy on the back of the Jeep. But you can tell there how flush that is versus this factory light. And of course it serves all the same purposes. You do have the reverse light built in as well as the blind spot monitors, so it's an awesome piece to have. Now we've got both of them all mounted up. As you guys saw, I installed the driver's side with you all, and then I installed the passenger side right after. I will be honest, the passenger side has a little bit more movement than, and that's fully tightened up, than the actual driver's side did. So that's one thing to note. This one's secure as can be. If you move it, the Jeep's moving. But on this one, it's probably got a millimeter of movement right there. And I've tried a few different things. I just don't think it's I just don't think it fits as well on the passenger side as it does on the driver's side. But probably most people wouldn't notice, but it does move just a millimeter fully tightened up. So that's just one thing to note. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. As always, if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think and let me know what you want to see next. Stay tuned for the next video as we convert the Rubicon 392 to two-wheel drive with the Taser. And if you guys haven't already, go check out the merch. The link is in the description below. But as always, until next time, just take it easy.